as I said, $1,999.95 from the congratulations set, 2016 P. This is a significant coin. This is my final quantity. I have no more.
Okay.
Anything else, and because of the reason, and because I bought these sets originally and then I had added some sets before they got crazy, if I were to go into the marketplace today, certify this coin, buy it and sell it, I would be between $3,000 and $5,000. I saw a PCGS example of this the other day, one of their first day of issues, for $40,000.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, for PCGS, first day of issue from the congratulations set. This one is perfect. Okay, this one is perfect. So in other words, now you have 5,919 sets. I think the sum total of all of the 70 coins is well less than 1,000 coins, and we had most of the coins, okay? Well less than 1,000. I think the sum total, and I'm not talking about Annex, I'm talking about like all the grading services is probably about 600 coins in 70. It technically makes it significantly rarer than the 1995 W, which in this condition, the last one I sold was $30,000. There's, in PR70, I think there's about 1,100 or 1,200 of those coins that have been certified, maybe a little bit more in PR70. This coin rarer, certified 70 than the 1995 W.
Oh,
okay,
goodness.
Far rarer than the 2015 P in Mint State 70. Those are the only two coins that, and that one's 79,000. The 95 W is 30,000. This coin, 5,900 out of the congratulations set. 5,900. Now that's 5,900 total sets. Like I said, raw, uncertified sets run $1,000 to $1,500 before and then you take your chance. Okay, that's why you are guaranteed a PR70 that you see right here of the rarest, the king of the American Silver Eagles. And so when you go out there, and that's what this show has been about. That's what I've really tried to do for this show, is show you the king of the American Silver Eagles. That coin that is significantly rarer than anything else. So the American Silver Eagle is the most popularly collected silver coin in the world. The United States government, in all its various iterations, has made the better part of 100 different American Silver Eagles. Of all of those Silver Eagles, the single rarest of all of those is this coin by designation, by the fact that this is the congratulations set. And understand, the 2015 at $2,000 would be a complete and total set. 14, 13. Complete and total utter sellouts. I could sell at $2,000, but this is the rarest of them all. This is the king of kings, if you will, when it comes to coin.